Once upon a time, in a beautiful kingdom far away, there lived a young princess who possessed a most precious treasure.
The princess's most beloved possession was a golden ball, given to her by her late grandmother. Every day, the princess would take her golden ball to her favorite place in the royal gardens. She would skip through the castle halls with excitement, eager to reach her secret garden spot. The royal gardens were the princess's favorite place in the entire kingdom. The gardens were filled with the most exotic flowers from around the world. Did you know that
This secret spot by the old well was where the princess came to think and dream.
The well was said to be enchanted, dug centuries ago by the kingdom's founders. It was so deep that no one had ever seen the bottom.
The princess loved to play with her golden ball, tossing it higher and higher into the air.
But one fateful day, she threw the ball higher than she ever had before.
Her hands reached out, but the ball slipped right through her fingers.
The golden ball bounced once on the grass and began rolling toward the ancient well.
No! Oh, please come back! My golden ball! Oh no, what have I done? That was my most precious possession. The princess wept bitter tears, for her grandmother's gift was lost forever in the dark depths of the well. But then, something extraordinary happened. A voice came from the bottom of the well. The princess stopped crying and listened carefully. Who could possibly be speaking from such depths? At the bottom of the well sat a frog, holding the golden ball.
Princess, I can hear you crying up there. Why are you so sad?
Oh, dear frog. I dropped my golden ball into the well. It was my grandmother's gift and I loved it so.
Perhaps I could help you, beautiful princess. But what will you give me in return if I fetch your precious ball?
I will give you anything you wish. My jewels, my dresses, even my golden crown if you desire it.
I do not want your jewels or your dresses or your crown, dear princess. I want something much more valuable.
The princess waited anxiously to hear what the frog desired as payment. The princess felt disgusted at the thought of a slimy frog as her companion, but she wanted her golden ball so desperately. Yes, yes, dear frog. I promise all that you ask. Just please bring me my golden ball. But in her heart, the princess had no intention of keeping her promise. She thought to herself that once she had her ball...
The frog dove deep into the dark water, clutching the golden ball.
The princess waited and waited, staring into the dark depths.
Suddenly, the frog surfaced, carrying the precious golden ball.
The brave little frog climbed up the slippery well stones, which was no easy task. Did you know,
At last, the exhausted frog reached the top and placed the golden ball safely on the grass.
There it was, the precious golden ball, safe and sound once more.
The princess grabbed her precious ball without even thanking the poor frog.
She ran away as fast as her legs could carry her, forgetting all about her promise. Wait! Wait for me, princess! You promised! Remember your promise!
But the princess did not stop or turn around.
That evening, as the sun began to set, The royal family gathered for their dinner in the grand dining hall.
The royal family always dined together each evening, sharing stories of their day.
The princess felt relieved and happy, having recovered her precious golden ball. She had already forgotten about the frog in the well.
But then, a strange sound interrupted their peaceful meal. Something wet was approaching the dining hall.
The princess suddenly remembered the frog and his request, and her blood ran cold.
Open up!
3 loud knocks echoed through the hall, followed by a familiar voice.
Princess, youngest daughter of the king, please open the door and let me in. You made me a promise by the old well's brim.
Daughter, who is at the door? And what is this promise they speak of?
Oh, Father, it is nothing. Just a disgusting poison dart frog from the garden well. I made him a fool.
Tell me everything, daughter. What exactly did you promise this creature?
I promised he could be my companion, eat from my plate, drink from my cup, and sleep on my pillow.
But Father, I didn't mean it.
A promise is a promise, daughter. We are royalty, and our word is our bond. If you made a promise, you must... With great reluctance and shame, the princess walked toward the door to face the frog.
Her hand trembled as she reached for the handle, knowing what awaited on the other side.
There sat the little frog, looking up at the princess with hopeful golden eyes.
Thank you for opening the door, dear princess. I have traveled far and am very tired and hungry. May I come in and join you for dinner as you promised?
The frog hopped into the magnificent dining hall, his wet feet leaving a trail across the clean marble.
Princess, I cannot reach the chair. Would you be so kind as to lift me up so I may sit beside you as you promised?
The princess felt ill at the thought of touching the slimy creature, but her father's stern gaze reminded her of her duty. With great reluctance, she picked up the wet frog with just 2 fingers, holding him as far away from herself as possible.
The frog said nothing about her rudeness, though his large eyes showed he noticed how disgusted she was by him. She placed the frog on the table as far from her plate as her arm could reach.
Princess, the food is too far away. Could you please move your plate closer so I may eat beside you as you promised?
Sophia, you will move your plate closer to your guest immediately. We do not treat any guest in our home with such rudeness, regardless of their appearance.
With burning cheeks of shame, the princess moved her plate closer to the frog.
I am quite thirsty after my long journey and my meal. May I have a drink from your golden cup as...
The thought of drinking from the same cup as the frog made the princess feel quite ill.
But she pushed the golden cup toward the frog as her father watched sternly.
The frog drank politely from the golden cup, being very careful not to spill even a single drop.
Thank you for the wonderful meal, Princess. Now I am very tired from my long journey. Would you...
No! Father, please! Not my bedroom! Not my pillow! This is too much! I cannot bear it!
Enough, Sophia. You gave your word. The frog kept his part of the bargain and retrieved your bowl. Now you must honor yours. Take him to...
The princess picked up the frog and ran from the dining hall in tears, her heart full of anger and disgust. Up the winding staircase she climbed, each step feeling heavier than the last, dreading what awaited in her bedroom.
They entered the princess's beautiful bedroom, where everything was perfect and clean.
The princess looked at her pristine white pillow and then at the wet, muddy frog, and her disgust reached its peak.
I know you find me repulsive, Princess, but please remember, you gave your word.
A promise is more precious than gold. I cannot stand this anymore! I don't care what I promised! I cannot sleep with a disgusting frog on my pillow! Ah!
The little frog flew through the air, helpless and afraid.
He struck the wall and fell to the floor.
But instead of a hurt frog, there was a brilliant flash of golden light that filled the entire room.
The magical light swirled and danced, and the frog's form began to change. When the light faded, standing before the princess was not a frog, but a handsome young prince.
The princess stood frozen in utter shock and disbelief.
Thank you, Princess.
Thank you for breaking the terrible curse that bound me. Curse? What curse? I don't understand. You were a frog, and I was so cruel to you.
Years ago, I angered a wicked witch in the forest. She cursed me to live as a frog until someone would let me eat from their plate, drink from their cup, and...
The prince told of how the witch had transformed him for refusing to help her, teaching him a lesson about kindness.
But I was so unkind to you. I broke my promise. I treated you with such cruelty and disgust. How can you thank me when I behaved so terribly?
The witch never said the promise had to be kept willingly or kindly, only that the conditions had to be met.
So even though I was cruel and broke my promise in my heart, because my father forced me to go through the motions, it was enough to break your curse?
Without his wisdom, I would still be a frog. And you have learned that everyone, no matter how they appear, deserves kindness.
I am so deeply ashamed of how I treated you. I judged you by your appearance, treated you with cruelty.
There is nothing to forgive. You have freed me from a terrible curse.
And you have learned an important lesson.
And so, through an unexpected turn of events, the princess's broken promise somehow kept itself.
What will you do now, Prince Alexander? Where is your home? Your family must be worried and sick.
My kingdom lies 3 days' journey from here. I have been under this curse for 5 long years. I do not...
We must tell my father at once. He will provide you with a horse, supplies, and an escort to see you safely home. Come, let us go to him now.
Together, they walked through the moonlit corridors to find the king and share the miraculous news.
The king and queen were still discussing the strange events of dinner when their daughter burst in with unexpected news. Who is this young man? Where is the frog? What has happened?
The princess told her parents everything. The curse, the transformation, and the important lesson she had learned.
Welcome, Prince Alexander. You are a guest of honor in our kingdom. We will provide everything you need.
You have my eternal gratitude, Your Majesty. Your wisdom in teaching your daughter about keeping promises has freed me from...
But surely you will not leave tonight, dear prince. You must rest after your long ordeal. Stay with us for a few days.
The king and queen held a magnificent celebration in honor of Prince Alexander's freedom.
As they danced together, the princess realized how much the prince's kindness and forgiveness had touched her heart.
She had learned that true nobility calls not from appearance, but from character, kindness, and the ability to forgive.
The day of Prince Alexander's departure arrived, bringing both joy for his freedom and sadness at his leaving.
Thank you for your generous hospitality and kindness. I will never forget what your family has done for me. Our kingdoms shall be forever friends.
I wish you did not have to leave so soon. There is still so much I want to say, so much I want to learn from you.
I must return to my kingdom and reunite with my family who have mourned me for 5 years. But once I am home, and I made this during my stay. Keep it to remember that appearances can be deceiving, and that everyone deserves kindness.
I will treasure it always as a reminder of my lesson learned, and of the friend I found in the most unexpected place.
The prince mounted his horse and prepared to begin his journey home to his waiting kingdom.
Farewell, Princess Sophia, until we meet again.
The princess had learned valuable lessons, that a promise once given must be kept, and that everyone...
The princess returned often to the old well, but she never again played carelessly with her golden ball.
But one beautiful spring day, as she sat reflecting by the well, she heard the sound of an approaching rider.
Prince Alexander had returned, just as he had promised, now restored to his full royal glory.
I told you I would return. You kept your promise.
I have spoken with my parents and yours. If you would have me, Sophia, I would like to court you properly, as you deserve.
Yes, 1,000 times yes. You have already taught me so much about kindness, forgiveness, and
And so the Frog Prince and the princess who learned to keep her promises began their own fairy tale.
They say the two kingdoms were united in peace and friendship, and that Princess Sophia never forgot the lessons she...
And the moral of this tale? Keep your promises. Treat all creatures with kindness. And they all lived happily ever after. The end.